non-public, both A and B tournaments. Obviously, not a lot of suspense in most of these tournaments. When you get down to the state championship level, most of it's in the sectional level, and even then, some of these sections aren't really full. So what we're going to do is we're going to speed right ahead to our championship picks, and we'll throw in a little sectional analysis as we go on it. So we'll start with, I think, the obvious guy to start with when we're talking about non-public wrestling. That would be our man in North Jersey, Pat Lanny. Pat, we'll start with non-public North Jersey B. DePaul, clear favorite, but they're going to have a intriguing test probably in the final.
Yeah, everybody's 10-1 queen apiece. The coach is back in town from Brearley's, brought Jeff Velez with him, a couple other guys. Still doesn't have the complete lineup to hang with DePaul, but an interesting storyline nonetheless. You're right.
And obviously, we'll swing down to South Jersey B. Bill, Camden Catholic is the dean of this section, but it seems like that might come to an end this year.
Yeah, Camden Catholic's won 21 straight sectional titles, some of them in A, some of them in B. Last year, their state title streak of 10 straight ended. This year, probably that sectional streak's going to go as well. They squeezed past Holy Cross a year ago, 35-33. I think this is a little bit stronger Holy Cross team, not as good of a Camden Catholic team. So I think Holy Cross is going to come out of B.
So you got Holy Cross in B. Pat, it sounds like you got DePaul in B. In the North, I guess we'll start with Bill. Who do you think is going to win the non-public B state title?
Well, I think it's definitely DePaul. It's Holy Cross is definitely a program on the rise, and winning South Jersey is going to be a big deal for them. But I don't think they can hang when they get to the state level against a team like DePaul.
Patrick?
Got to agree with that. I know talking to Coach Carson the other day, he was telling me that he thinks he has the second best lineup in the state. Say what you want about that comment, but he's got a little bit of a point. With Dan Pursley transferring in now at 106 and Damian Maver filling that 120 spot that bumps Dino Cancelleri down to 113, and hey, that's a legit lineup. Definitely the best in non-public B, and definitely a favorite there, no doubt about it.
No, I agree. I think DePaul will win it pretty easily, second straight state title. Before we move on to non-public A, though, Josie, you want to rubber stamp DePaul for us?
Done. I think Holy Cross might have the two kids on the podium, but I think DePaul's going to have the championship trophy on Sunday.
Now to the big show, non-public A, North Jersey section. Pat, the greatest semifinal in state history?
Hey, man, the regular season one was definitely the best match I saw all year, no doubt about it, right down to the wire. Danny DeLorenzi came through for Bergen Catholic, and just a real clutch performance. I mean, if you can't get excited for Bergen Bosco with it all on the line, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's going to be epic. The one thing, though, for Bergen Catholic, everything seemed to go right for Don Bosco in that first matchup. They got a couple close-bout wins, even, flipped a couple. I think Bergen Catholic wrestles its A game. It should be, definitely a little bit better than last time. So I'm going to have to go with Bergen Catholic again. I just think they're just not so much more, but they're on a different level at this point, and I like the Crusaders.
I think that other semifinal, projected semifinal, is also really fascinating when Del Barton's going to go to St. Peter's Prep. Now, obviously, I know St. Peter's Prep had that really tough loss to DePaul last week, but they're a really, really, really strong team. And I think Del Barton's the same way. Del Barton maybe hasn't been as much as these different triangles and conflicting results with the other non-public schools, but man, they won their 7th straight Morris County tournament title. They had a ton, I think 6 champions. Just a loaded team, standouts everywhere, and I think I don't think Coach Brian Stoll gets enough credit for the tremendous coaching job he's done this year. Because obviously we know guys like Gacy, Vasquez, Tavoso, we know those guys, but it's the guys like the heavyweight, like the Anselmi brothers. These guys are all coming together and they're wrestling really well. They're big parts of their lineup. So I think Del Barton will go to St. Peter's Prep, swing an upset, but then, as you said, I think they get to Bergen Catholic, and BC is just on a completely different level at this point. We'll move down to South Jersey, non-public A, and Joe, Christian Brothers. They didn't enter the Shore Conference tournament. People kind of scratch their heads why. Do you think they could potentially knock off St. Augustine and get to Trenton?
No, I don't. I just don't think they have the pedigree. I don't think they have the experience. And listen, they have an outstanding 113-pounder in Sebastian Rivera, but with Petzl gone now, I think it's a candidate to be standing on top of the podium in Atlantic City. I like what CBA has at 126 with Van Sickle. I just don't think they have enough proven commodities to go and beat St. Augustine. I think CBA is good, but I think the fact that they didn't go into the short conference tournament and get beat up a little bit and be put in some pressure situations is going to come back to haunt them here. I'm going St. Augustine coming out of the South.
Bill, I'm assuming you're also probably going to have St. Augustine. Is it me? Are they kind of a topsy-turvy team? You know, they beat Bosco, they lose to Paulsboro. It seems like they've had big wins and big losses. What do you read of them as the guy who's probably the closest on the scene to them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're a little bit of a matchup team. You know, nobody obviously saw what happened against Bosco coming. But you know what? They have some kids. You know, like Brady and Tabora and Schwab and White. They can get you some bonus points. And you know, if they get the right matchups, you know, then they can beat anybody. And you know, the Paulsboro match, they lost some toss-ups there. You know, Paulsboro just wrestled a little better, but you know, St. Augustine also lost to Delsey. They beat Clearview. It's kind of a matchup situation with them, and also, you know, did they come to wrestle that day? You know, if they've got their A game, which they did against Clearview and they did against Bosco, then they're very dangerous. And I do see them coming out of this out of the South Jersey section here.
All right, how do we do the non-public A championship pick this way? I've got Bergen Catholic. I'm assuming you three gentlemen have Bergen Catholic. If you don't, speak up. No one? Bueller? All right. That's a clean sweep. 4 for 4. Bergen Catholic will, in our opinion, finish number 1 in non-public non-public A again, and number 1 in the state of New Jersey. That's it for the non-public sections, but keep it here at NJ.com as we're taking a look at all 6 NJSIA classifications as we head towards Group Sunday in Trenton. We'll see you next time.